The moon is, unfortunately, not made of delicious melty cheddar, but boring old rocks. Yet, incredibly, you end up losing these arguments against utterly moronic people. You know you should have won the argument, and you provided them with countless irrefutable evidence. Yet, no matter what you say, you somehow fail to change their mind or remotely shake their ostentatious self-confidence in their erroneous views. Why is it so difficult to argue with stupid people? Why do they fail to listen to empirical evidence and instead favour the wisdom that smelly old weird bloke told them at the pub? And why do they often think themselves far more intelligent than their words and actions would lead you to believe? Let's find out. Neuroscientists think there are very real and fascinating reasons and explanations for this frustrating phenomenon. But before we talk about those, we must first ask whether our suspicions are true. Do people think they're smarter than they are? Over the past 20 years, two social psychologists have been attempting to
so
test
stupid.
this question. David Dunning and Justin Kruger. David Dunning was inspired to begin this research after reading a feature in the 1996 World Almanac about a Pittsburgh bank robber, MacArthur Wheeler, who held up a bank at gunpoint in broad daylight without a mask. But, strangely, his face was covered in lemon juice. When the police arrested him later at his home, he said, "But I wore the juice." He explained how, since lemon juice is sometimes used as invisible ink, he thought that by covering his face in lemon juice, he would somehow become invisible to other people on the security cameras. He apparently took a picture of himself whilst wearing the lemon juice before the robbery to confirm this theory, and remarkably, albeit according to Wheeler's own account, his face was not visible in the photo. Police were never quite able to explain this, but then, this is a man who tried to make himself invisible with lemon juice, so I wouldn't put too much thought into it. Inspired by this blatant idiocy, Dunning teamed up with Kruger and conducted a series of experiments in which they got participants to rate themselves on their grammar, logical reasoning, and sense of humour. They then compared the participants' self-appraisals with the results of a series of tests that they asked them to complete. The study shows that people consistently rate themselves as being far more competent at everything than they actually are. Most people in the studies performed far worse on the tests than they believed they had done. A poll in 1980 conducted by a Swedish psychologist illustrated this nicely when it showed that 93% of American drivers considered their driving ability to be above average. Just think about that for a second. The maths don't quite add up. The research shows that an overestimation of our talents is something we mostly all do, albeit some of us significantly more so than others. And that the more inferior a person's talents and or intelligence are, then the greater the degree with which they overestimate these. One of the biggest factors driving this is the brain's natural, egocentric bias, first identified by psychologists in 1960. Turns out that the brain absolutely loves itself and does everything it can do to make itself look good. Repeated studies have demonstrated that the egocentric bias is present in all types and ages. For example, we tend to associate ourselves very closely with positive events, and we take credit for things that other people have achieved, such as, "My team played well." Whereas when our favourite sports team loses, we try to distance ourselves. They performed poorly. Similarly, we have no problem when we are overpaid for work, but we think it's a bit unfair when others are. We think that anyone who drives faster than us is a lunatic, yet anyone who drives slower is an idiot. You get the idea. Your brain thinks it is the best thing since single-celled organisms. But how does this relate to Freudian arguments? Basically, the brain will do absolutely anything it needs to in order to save face. Your brain must look good no matter what, even if this involves ignoring facts, making up facts, or browbeating your intellectually superior opponent into submission. Now, your brain isn't being a dick for the sake of it. Evolutionarily, the egocentric bias makes a lot of sense. for self-preservation. The hunter that steals the prey from the other
Shut
hunters is
your
a lot more likely to survive after all. Our egocentric bias is so strong that even when we irrevocably lose an argument, we convince ourselves in our own minds that we somehow won. As the legendary author Dale Carnegie of the seminal How to Win Friends and Influence People wrote, you can't win an argument. 9 times out of 10, an argument ends with each of the contestants more firmly convinced than ever that he is absolutely right. There is, however, another reason why learned people often walk away from arguments with those who possess the intellectual aptitude of a veritable sea sponge, feeling wholly disappointed. There is a general fear amongst the human race of intelligence, even amongst the intelligentsia themselves. This is a very real phenomenon that numerous neuroscientists have observed. True, we admire those of heightened intelligence, yet we simultaneously fear them. In modern society, we have no need to fear those of superior physical might over oneself, unless you just made a pass at their wife. But say you meet a huge, burly bloke at a dinner party with guns larger than your entire torso. Most of us could converse with him rather happily, without feeling intimidated. Yet, if we meet a weedy old professor of astrophysics at a dinner party, who knows general relativity better than you know where you left your car keys, then suddenly, and for reasons which are unclear to yourself, you feel intimidated by him. Perhaps you don't. If so, congratulations, you're probably rather intelligent or a sight